and just clicking on all these. Now this is way faster than the FNVEdit, still a little slow and annoying. Drive you insane. And so keep going down. Almost there, almost there. And then this works really well if you're just doing the same tag over and over and over, which is what we're doing here. Okay, now we're done here. Control A, select all, Control C, copy. Go into Excel. Now I've already got this selected, Control V. Now it gives me this obnoxious message, and I say I don't care about your silly columns are not the same, because they are. So now notice we've pasted this in. We've got implement perfectly. You can check it over, make sure you got it all right. Now we're going to just Control S to save this again. It says some nonsense about sure this format contains features. Yes. Now leave me alone. You can hit X to close. It's going to insist that you haven't saved it because it's stupid. You hit no, even though you already have. Close this guy. Don't need to save it. Go back into right flash. Go into Project Nevada Cyberware, and go into Import Names. Then it says this is going to replace the names. It is not reversible. It's trying to scare us, but we're not easily scared. So now it remembers where we were last time, our desktop. Now we're simply going to click here, and now it's going to give us a screen that shows us. It's going to probably come up about this size. You can just expand it. It's going to come up and show us everything has changed. Notice what it says here. It's kind of hard to read because it's not in a Courier font. It's implant, blah, 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 blah. Here's the name, hand stabilizer. Implant has been now changed to implant, hand stabilizer. So all those naming tags have been saved. Hit OK. Now we're simply going to close this program. Let's go into FNVEdit and check it out. Right click, select none. Just want to reload the cyberware just to make sure that the implant tag's actually saved. And got it here, got it here, got it here, and let's check it out. And yep, look at that. We got our implant tags on each one of these. That was way faster than if we'd done it in FNVEdit, and way more, or way less annoying. So cyberware is done. Okay, probably going insane by now. We're back in FNVEdit. Select none. Now we just need to do our last bit, so we can just click on this equipment. Where are we? No. That's not what we want. We want rebalance. That's the last one we're doing. Yeah. It's all coming back to me. Nobody worry. So we want rebalance, and then we're also going to select the Brumbeks Inventory Sorting to see what overlap we have, because the rebalance is all the original items edited, so it's going to overlap with inventory sorting. Pretty much always want to load my main inventory sorting ESP. Okay, so now we've got these two up. And what do we got here? Rebalance, go to ingestible. Oh man, I'm so depressed. Look at all these edits. Oh, look at all these new items. Oh man, I can tell they're new because they're white, if you remember. I click on them, so they're all new, not from the original game. Looks like it's versions of the original items, but they've all got like these rotten and putrid tags on them. So, and these are all existing items, so we can see because they're a different color here because they're changed. Yeah. So as we can see here, my mod adds the tag, Project Nevada tweaks their settings. Now what does it change? It changes the value to be twice of the original game, and adds this condition script deal that from Nevada. So it looks like it heals you as food. And so anyway, it doesn't really matter what it adds, it just matters that it's edited. So we need to change it. So what we can do is, let's check out armor. Okay, the good news is there's only these three here, and they're bizarre wacko things. They're tokens and list markers. What does that mean? I have no idea. It says non-playable. I'm ignoring them. And it helps to actually play the game with the mod after you make the patch to see if it actually you got everything. Because sometimes mods add stuff like that where I don't really know what it is because I don't use the mod. Miscellaneous item. Okay, just got repair tools. That's something we're going to want to change. And then that looks... is that it? I believe it is. Holler if you see something. Oh yeah, you can't. Okay, well, select these two. Remember, just select one, control, select the other, right click, deep copy is override. Yeah, I'm sure. New file. Because we're keeping these all separate files so people can choose to use whichever parts of the original mod they use and the corresponding patch, project meta rebalance. Okay, okay. And then we got our new patch with no changes yet. Let's do the miscellaneous item because it's so easy. There's just the one. We're going to edit repair tools. It sounds like utility if I've ever heard of one, and I'm not sure if I have. Util, done. Ingestible. Okay, so many. Again, I'm just suffering. Oh, yeah. And let's see, we should probably also check are there new recipes in this mod. Yes, there are. The thing about this, if you really want to get accurate, if you really want to do a perfect compatibility patch, you have to look and see if they added new recipes, because if they did, that means some of the items need to have the name tags changed on them. Because for instance, we got this raw bloatfly. You can scroll over to see it, or you can also double click it. It opens up and says, so these new items that this mod adds, the raw bloatfly meat, or that might just be a renaming of an existing, I don't know. It is, yeah, because we got the same here. But oh no, it's not, because it's got the PN. So now that I've thoroughly confused everyone, the point is this mod is adding new food type items and new recipes, and so my mod distinguishes them with the names, you know, between FOOD food and FODR for food recipe item. So if you really want to be accurate and obsessive, which I am, you need to take that in consideration. But for now, let's just scroll over here and look and say fresh apple, same name. So all I'm doing is clicking and dragging. That one's easy. Cooked Brahmin, food R. Good. And if you have widescreen, it's a lot more helpful, but what we can do is we can just simply click and drag over here so that it's all on screen. Fresh carrot. Click drag. Make sure you click and drag to the right ones. It's a common mistake that I've done many times, is not clicking to the right columns here. This is my original Brumbeks Inventory Sorting. This is the Project Nevada Rebalance, and this is the new patch we're just creating. And remember, we copied all these records from Project Nevada Rebalance, so we're keeping all of the Project Nevada changes. We just need to change the names. So what we do is we just go one by one through all these. Notice I was about to click and drag, but what this mod does, because it's super tricky trying to confuse us, it changes the name already. It changes it from iguana bits to old iguana bits, because it wants to drive us insane. So we can't just click and drag, because then that would just give us food iguana bits. Since we want to be so accurate for the original mod, we're going to have to do it manually. And so keep that in mind. And notice also the colors. Any of the colors that are orange here tells us that Project Nevada is using a different name, like old iguana instead of just iguana. Anyone that's in this, what color is this? Some crazy brown, orange color mixture is keeps the same name. So all the brown ones are easy. We can do all these without going insane because they just, and here's another one where he doesn't really keep the water then purified, but that's what my mod does for sorting. So we're going to overwrite his record and use my name. And now you just have to go by one through all these items and, you know, change them. Again, you got stale noodles instead of just noodles. Got to edit, change the name. Kind of tedious. And again, you got to look for the ones that add to the new recipe. For instance, once we get to all the new items, which are way down here, these don't have any reference. So see, I can't just click and drag, very regrettably. I have to do the whole click F2 thing and then rename this Stale Wasteland Omelet. Okay, it's food, obviously. You know, you can do certain tricks like food and now select it and copy it so that you can just copy and paste. You can also do that RiFlash trick where you just can open it up in RiFlash, then export names, and then edit them in Excel or Word if that's easier for you. It is a little bit faster that way. The problem is doing it that way you can't see all the details. So if you weren't sure if it was a food item or a food recipe item, you wouldn't know. And for instance, this trail mix, we see sugar bombs. If I click on this, it'll tell me it's this sealed sugar bombs is a recipe item. Now we could just try to, it's somewhere in these new items. We could just try to find it by just reading through here and being insane, because this is not alphabetical. This is by editor ID alphabetical. We could click on name and that would alphabetize it. It also freaks it out and gets really confusing because now it's way up here. So now we find, does anyone remember what I said? Sealed sugar bombs. So this is one where you'd think it's a food, wouldn't you? Yes, but it's actually a food R, F-O-D-R, because it's part of the new recipe. Devious, devious. Now if we click on Editor ID, we are back to the same sorting that we had before. So you click on Name and Editor ID, just a few tips there. Actually, we're not quite back to the same sorting, are we? I'm always telling you guys the wrong thing, it's crazy. If you click on Form ID, still not good. There you are. So now we're back. Just had to click it twice to get it back. So now we're back at Form ID in the proper order. So yeah, this is a gigantic list, and you're going to have to go through all these and edit them. You may want to export it, do the whole Rye Flash trick. But that's really all it takes. It's just tedious. I don't know of a way to make it quicker. It's just you really get annoyed when mods add a ton of new items like this, and especially if he updates this mod and changes some of the values for all the items, we'll have to go back in and edit everything. Yeah. So, but that's the general idea. So that's making compatibility patches for Project Nevada. Kind of a larger project, similar to Fook or a few of the other ones that just edit tons of items. But it's not too bad. You know, so you just want to take all the time to complete it, then you want to test it in game, make sure you didn't miss anything. So yeah, that took a while to do Project Nevada, and we didn't even actually do it all. So then you can go into Fallout Mod Manager once you got it all done, and now this is where you'd want to change your load order. Notice how it's got all the files down here, because they're by timestamp again. So we'd want to reorganize these so they all come after Project Nevada. Now technically they already do all come after Project Nevada because they're at the very end. So this order would be totally fine. You got your core equipment, cyberware, rebalance, which matches the same where you've got the core equipment as the ESM masters at the top and the other two here. So it's just a final note. You just want to make sure you change your load order and of course activate whichever ESPs you need to use for whatever your actual mod list is. And just a thing too, if any of you actually make compatibility patches for other mods and you're reasonably confident that you did it right, just message me on the Nexus and let me know and I can add it to my mod. It'd be great if you guys just start to do all my work for me, and if you need to do like some other work, just let me know and I could probably find other menial tasks or something. Just an idea. Anyway, yeah, as you can tell, making these patches is kind of crazy, but yeah, it's kind of fun once you get into it in like a maddening way. Until next time.